Hello, welcome to TV Africa. My name is Omulangira Kalema, and today I'm honored to be having Professor Kihura Nkuba right in the studios here. You're most welcome, Professor.
Thank you.
How have you been?
Can't complain, no problem.
You can't complain. Yet the brothers in Africa suffering.
Suffering is not new, and suffering is not the end of the world. People sometimes have to go through suffering to be able to see clearly.
So it's part of life.
Yeah. It's going to happen. It has to happen, and then that's what we can say.
We've actually seen fighting in the DRC, just our neighbors here. What could be the main cause of that? Because we've actually, right from the first Congolese war, we come to the second one. Now here we are.
I think Congo needs a strong leader with a strong army who can take it bit by bit. Congo can't be solved with this problem of democracy, where they elect someone because he can give them money or his vocal is whatever. Congo can't be solved like that. He has to be a strong leader with a strong army and a man who can be himself. Because Congo is suffering with the problem of foreign intervention and people think it's minerals. People, some think it's water because the world will run out of water in a short time. A nation has to go through that. They will fight. They will get tired. Then they will talk. Another group will fight, and then they will get tired. And it's unfortunate that people die. But the nation can't be at war forever. Well, people get tired, and then they will get scared of war.
But you're talking about foreign intervention now.
Yeah, foreign intervention. There's foreign intervention. America, Belgium, America, France, never wanted this country to be stable.
What is their interest?
Because they have no resources, and then they want Congo to use dollars. Yeah, because remember, when a country prints money, the more countries use it, the better for that country. Because it means your paper is now being used to buy anything, anywhere. If they stop using the paper, then your paper loses value. Remember, one of the things that America wanted Uganda out of Congo was because Congolese had started to use the Uganda shilling, and it was displacing the dollar. And then Congo as a country keeps its resources in France. So keeps its money in France. It's 70% of Congo's money that they generate is supposed to be kept in France. And France is supposed to tell them how to spend that money.
Why? Is it in agreement?
All these countries that owe allegiance to France have an agreement like that. That's why Taure and the other whatever are running away from France. And that's why France is upset. Yeah.
No, that is France. You talked about foreign intervention. We have US, we have Rwanda, we have Uganda, we have Angola, and other countries. What are their interests? In this case, Uganda and Angola, and plus Rwanda.
Angola shares the border with Congo. Congo is too large. So if part of it can be administered by Angola and people live peaceful, that's fine. It's the same thing with Rwanda. If Rwanda could take a piece of Congo and administer it.
Doctor, you're talking about a country, a sovereign country.
So what does that mean? What does sovereign mean? How is it sovereign when they can't even protect their own citizens? When a small rebel group can set up and then take over half a country, and there are people are fighting, people are running, people are dying. To be a state, you have to you have to have a military, and the military the control of power.
Yeah.
Now the politics, the control of power, and the military the control of force. They don't have those two ingredients. And then economics, or what is the control of the wealth, is the control of money. They don't control money, they don't control power, they don't control force. So you can't be a sovereign country. Sovereign, people talk about sovereign. To a person who is now carrying luggage on his head, looking for a refugee being shot at, or having nowhere to eat, or child dying on the way, what does sovereign mean? So if Rwanda can take a significant part of Congo, where maybe they are Rwandese-speaking people, and bring order and bring development and bring trade and whatever. Yeah? Me, I see no problem with that.
What went
the same
wrong?
as if that's at the time when Uganda was in Congo, there was so much trade, there's so much peace, so much whatever. Yeah? And then they didn't want, America didn't want it because Congolese were starting to use shilling. Now the Congolese don't have anything to use. They can't use dollars, it's not theirs. So they are forced now to sell whatever raw material they have so they can get dollars. But if they could use Uganda shillings, that was okay. Yeah. So
who determines the leader in DR Congo? Are they the people or these foreign so-called powers?
Because Congo doesn't control a significant part of Congo.
What?
The Congo government doesn't control a significant part of Congo. It controls a small percentage of Congo.
Then who controls the other part?
All these rebel groups. Rebel groups with whatever interest. I think the wisest thing Congo did was to say, Uganda, come and help me bring peace here. That's a wise thing. Uganda is making roads, but Uganda is also timid. Yeah, they go in a few days, they go backtrack even when they have Congo authority. Yeah, they should say to Congo, let's do this. Then America will call. But now America is going back to its own country. Remember when I was telling you people that all these things about globalization is nonsense. Yeah, you are talking about globalization, a global village. And people believed that rubbish, that there was a global village. Even though you have to get a visa to go to England, you have to get a visa to go to Italy, to go to America. Now, do you have to get a visa to go to your village? Yeah? That's insanity. It's just nonsense.
It's what is being taught. Actually,
now they are saying no. There is no global village anymore. Each country to itself. And if you want to export to us, we'll tariff you.
Doctor, what went wrong in DRC? Because we look at the great leaders this country had. For example, like so Patrice Emery Lumumba.
They killed him. They bought all his generals. They bought all his soldiers. They didn't want peace in Congo. Because Congo is bigger than Europe.
Mobutu
was part of them.
Part of them?
Yeah, he was a thief. But because he knew that people liked Lumumba because he was a Pan-Africanist, then he started having some aspect of Lumumbaism in him.
Yes.
Like African names, African clothes, African music, African whatever. And people like that. People like their culture. They like their names. They like their language. They like their history. So Mobutu promoted that. Most dictators do that anyway. Most dictators like culture, like sports, like
I beg your pardon?
Most dictators like culture, they like sports, they like entertainment, they like to keep the country and the people occupied. Because if you're occupied, you're not going to think of things that you are supposed to do. It's like you see in America all the time. It's wrestling, cockfighting, snooker, athletics, championship. Why? Because the person just spends his time thinking about that. But in Uganda, where these things are not over, they think their time thinking about politics. Politics become the opium of the people.
Is sports bad to the African mind?
No, it's not bad. The sports they practice now is bad, following useless teams from Europe. Some stupid, you find people saying, Bat Kubye, Mwebani. Bat Kubye, are you a coach? Are you a shareholder? Yeah, it is the most ridiculous thing for an African that is watching European football. For sponsor your own teams, in your own local team and promote them and buy players and build good stadiums and put up big competition, everybody will come. But why do you sit there watching Germany? They say in Bayern Munich. You can't even pronounce their name properly. You don't even speak a word of German. Yeah.
Since you're talking about sports, doctor, let's also talk about the so-called element of betting. How did betting come to Africa? Is it good for the youth? Because
of course it's not good. I can't even believe that these countries like President Museveni allows this kind of nonsense to continue. Just because you're going to get some tax. People rip off your population that they are betting. Yeah? If you want betting, let the government control the betting. Let the government own the betting or the gambling so that the money can go to the government. If somebody wants to waste his father's land and whatever, let the government benefit from it. But why do you bring God knows Serbians and Coax and
Indians.
Romanians and Romanians to come and rob your population in betting. It's just these are just it is also part of this stupid education system that teaches people how to do nothing. Yeah, you are not supposed to. You are supposed to be somebody who knows that this is just cheating you. Yeah, and why would you support that? Why would you like that? It's not rubbish. It's not right. And everywhere you see, like countries like Zambia, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. Zambia needs prayers. Huh?
So
Zambia has got Zambia is 3 times the size of Uganda.
Wow.
360,000 square miles, roughly. Uganda is 96,000 square miles. Zambia's population is 19 million. Like 90% live in cities. So the rest of the country has got like 1 million or 1.5 living in the villages. Rural areas. You can drive from here up to Arua and you don't even see anything. No shop, no shack, nothing. And a king in Zambia, and there are many of them, can give you land for free, like a square mile, 2 square miles. So you people are killing each other here for free, for a decimal. Zambia, they give you a square mile for free. Those people who are killing themselves for land go to Zambia and you produce. They only have 1 season, and their problem is water. But if you do a square mile of maize, you'll be with a lot of money because that's all they eat. Yes.
Now, where is the problem, Doctor? Because when you come back here in Uganda, for example, we had the government is still promoting giving license to these so-called investors who come and start promoting betting. The likes of one of the so-called richest in Uganda here, Sudin. He brought Jada, during the years. From Jada, he brought other rotaries. This was on an individual basis. Why is government, encouraging such investments in Uganda?
But you see, talk about government, but what is government? You see, it's not even the people. The government is not the people. That's nonsense.
That's the definition that we're told.
That's rubbish. That's rubbish.
The government is the president. Government.
The government is the president. The government is Museveni. It's not even the minister. It's not even parliament. Museveni is the government. Forget about these things of democracy and whatever. Be realistic.
Don't you have democracy in Uganda?
What does that mean even? Where? If Museveni wants us to leave the marshlands, he doesn't want people to build on the lake. Yes. He comes and orders the houses be demolished. Now, is that democracy?
He normally says the parliament, of course. Motion is passed in the parliament and then...
Rubber stamp.
What is democracy, Doctor?
There's not such a thing as a democracy. There's no democracy anywhere. It's a government of the people. Maybe Uganda is a democracy, yes. If it's a government of Museveni and his wife, that's a democracy. Because it says a government of the people. Yeah. Isn't Museveni people? If he's Museveni, his wife, his son, and his daughters, and his uncles, and Rugunda, and Mbabazi, and whatever people who went to the bush, that's enough people. That's a democracy.
You're talking about
for
the first
people.
Citizen, Doctor. He's the first citizen. We vote, we put in power.
He's the oldest man in Uganda.
No, but he's the first citizen.
To be a first citizen should be the oldest man in Uganda.
But we vote him in power.
Yeah. How?
We vote him and the
okay,
majority.
But that's not the point. How he comes in power is irrelevant. The heart of the matter is he is the highest authority and he can decide what happens. If he wants this house demolished, he can demolish it. If he wants this road built, he can build it.
Without following the law?
What law? He is the law. Any president, it's not just Museveni alone. Any president. Now, Trump, doesn't he give executive order every day? Is that the law? Does it go through Congress? Yeah. It's a president. He has power. Or Taure, whom we are all crying and trying to see that he succeeds. He says, remember this. Don't blind yourself. All these things is for so-called international community. That's why NRM moved from a one-party state. Yeah? What was it called?
The movement system.
A movement system.
Yeah.
Yeah. But heart of the matter is the government is the president. And when you elect the president. Whether you elect him or you don't elect him, if he has means, he'll come back.
What do you mean by means?
What do you mean? What is not clear? What are you talking about?
You say if he has means.
Yes, if he has means, if he has force. The government, the military is the control of force. If you control enough force, you'll become a leader.
Those were the days. Those were the days, Doctor.
Which days?
Those were the days, the times of Idi Amin or Bote. Can they happen right now?
Which country are you living in? Are you Uganda?
Yes, Uganda, where we vote.
Okay. The only thing I can tell you is Uganda has more, is better 1 trillion times than Zimbabwe, Zambia, or even South Africa. An average Ugandan is 1 million times better than people in that country. I'm telling you. In Zimbabwe, breakfast is $30, lunch is $70. A doctor earns about $200, and maybe government gives some extra money. It becomes about $300, but he lives in an apartment of 8,000, of 700.
Do people have
there are no people in villages. There's no food. Food is all imported.
What's wrong with Africa, Doctor?
Because
the food basket of the world.
Because we don't listen to ourselves. We are looking for solutions from outside. Like now we are talking about Museveni. I don't care whether Museveni is he shoots himself to power, whatever. It's what you do with that power. What we do. Right now, what he's not doing is learning about money, learning about wealth, how the control of money. Money is the control of wealth, and wealth is the control of money. If Museveni knew how wealth is created, and he doesn't, if he knew how wealth is created, every Ugandan will be let's say $1 millionaire, and he wouldn't even ruin the economy, and he wouldn't even need to make effort. Now, there was a time when we were praising growing some pineapples and pawpaw and whatever, and the cow. Yes, we want everybody to have a cow. But to wait for 3 years for a cow to grow and the cow to give birth is not going to make you a millionaire.
It's good, Doctor, you talked about President Museveni.
Yeah.
Maybe not having the real knowledge of money and wealth creation. But is the real person actually the president, the fountain of honor, who, when he came to power, started bringing in programs that are going to develop individual Ugandans. We had the PMA. We had the Bonaba Gagawale.
All those is trying.
We had
trying. That is trying.
We had the Operation Wealth Creation.
Yes, and I was the chief strategist for the Operation Wealth Creation.
Now, that is
those programs make Uganda better than other countries. Because in Uganda, a person can directly get money on his phone. Like 1 million. At least you can get. There are countries where a person has never received anything from government. Nothing. You are living on your own volition. You are, nothing. So those programs make Uganda better than other countries. But it is not going to make Uganda wealthy.
Why are they failing? Why are they failing?
To know how to create money. Wealth, what we call credit creation, how to create credit and how to direct credit. Those two things. How credit is created, how banks get money, where the banks get the money they lend from, and how to direct what they call credit guidance. How to guide credit. That's what made Japan. That's what makes Europe. How to guide that credit so that it goes for production. How to create money for production. He does not know. He does not know that. If he knew, everybody would be rich. Because Uganda has enough wealth, has enough production, he can finance production. Fuck everybody who is doing anything. Even if you're a carpenter, growing cows, rearing chicken, you could get even $500,000 from Uganda. It's enough.
Now, being the brain behind Operation Wealth Creation, you yourself, what went wrong?
There's nothing wrong. I'm not. There's nothing wrong. I was not the only brain. I was a chief strategist. There were other brains. This permanent secretary was with us. That's not the thing that took me from wealth creation is because they didn't want to listen. They didn't want to listen to me. And I know why they didn't want to listen. Then I said, okay, if you don't want to listen, I'll go to South Africa, I'll go to Zimbabwe, I'll go to Zambia. And what I am telling you to do as a country, I'll do as an individual. I'll create enough wealth, to shake up the country and make everybody notice. That's what I did. Well, I've done enough.
You've done enough?
Yes. Right now, we've just bought one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in South Africa. Spec Farm. One of the largest. It will be producing human medicine. It produces human medicine for Zimbabwe, Zambia, South Africa, for Pfizer, for Germany, for big. I'm talking big. We have mines in Zimbabwe, mines in whatever, and we did it in a short time. So I know how to create money, and I can show the government how to do it. I know where all the other countries get money. Now, you heard when I was saying that the government should use the dollar to back the currency.
Yeah.
And at the time, people were saying, but the dollar is backed by gold. Now, you know it is not backed by gold. Now, you know the government now is trying to buy gold. You know that?
Yes.
To reserve. This is after 15 years. After 15 years.
Yes.
And they are not going to be successful in buying gold. I wish them success. But there's a methodology for buying gold. How gold is traded in Uganda. Those who talk about it are hoaxers. Those who have it to sell don't have. The real people who have gold, they have a method they did, and I don't think Bank of Uganda will know it.
Now, Doctor, talking about, before we move on from the economy, now President Museveni has introduced the PDM,
yes.
the Ugandan PDM,
yes.
whereby
what
he gives
PDM stands for?
Parish Development Model. He gives 1 million
I
to an
was
individual.
there when we were coining it.
Yeah. Now, will that help Ugandans at least to create some more wealth?
It makes Uganda better than other countries. That's what I'm saying. But it is small. It's insignificant. The first money that you give a person, they will eat that money. And it is justified. Because if I don't have even a blanket, if I don't even have shoes, if I don't, even my house doesn't have a door, you give me 1 million. I'm not going to get that 1 million and invest it. The first thing I'll do is I'll buy my children clothes, I'll pay off my debts, or whatever, then I remain there. So that's why I'm saying it is small. It's not enough wealth. You understand? But it makes Uganda better than what? It means now this person can buy a hoe, and then go to hoe to dig something, or he can go and rent some land, and maybe he'll spend 800,000 and remain with 200. So that's not enough. I think to give a person substantially, you need to say this person will get like 50 million, maybe a minimum of 50 million. But you control how they get it. They get it through production. So we are going to give you, if you want to buy a tractor, we'll give you money for a tractor. If you want to buy fertilizer, we'll give you money for fertilizer. If you buy land, we will give you a grant so that you can buy land. But you must produce. You must make a point that you are going to be producing within the first 6 months to begin production. Because if you create money for production, there is no inflation. You understand?
Yes.
Because inflation is a lot of money following a few goods. But if there is no money, if there is no production, then you create inflation. Then you devalue your currency. Because inflation is a form of devaluation. It devalues the currency. So that is one. So that the money, whereas it is spectacular, I started speaking about this in 2002, that a person must feel that he belongs to a certain government by receiving something from it. By receiving money directly, and I didn't want them to give, whatever, let them receive money directly into their phone, which is wonderful. But it is not wealth, It is not insignificant, it's not enough. You understand?
Yeah.
So, you need to say, the minimum that the government is going to give an individual is 50 million. The maximum is 1 billion. If you want to start a factory and whatever, and you have 1 billion, and we can see that and if you don't, you get 1 billion and you should go to jail. You should go to jail. You get 50 million, you are not producing, you should go to jail. But That's what the government, but to do that, but there is a lot of money. I can tell the government where it is. Why do you think Britain, which is in trouble, financial trouble, is giving loans? Where is it giving the money? Why is it giving Ukraine? Why are they fighting all to loan money to Ukraine? Why? Why? You don't have money. Your citizens don't have. Why are they not giving it to their citizens? Because of how money is made, how money is created. And the government needs, what makes our society so deprived, that sense of deprivation is lack of knowledge. There isn't enough knowledge. People think they know, but they don't. Yeah? You know, in ancient Egypt, there were 4 types of people. 4 types of people.
Yeah.
One was, if a man knows not, and knows not that he knows not, he's foolish. Man number 1. Man number 2, if a man knows not, and knows that he knows not, he's a student, teach him. Number 3, if a man knows and knows not that he knows, he's asleep, you know, wake him.
Wake him.
And if 4, if a man knows and knows that he knows, he's a teacher, follow him. So, I see like Matia Kasaija, a Minister of Education.
The finance.
Yes, Minister of Finance. Genuinely speaking, what does Matia Kasaija know about finance?
The economy.
Where has he created wealth to qualify to be a person of finance? A man, yes, I know he has a farm. He has a good farm, you know, looking after cows. But does that qualify you? Is he a Minister of Finance because he's qualified to be a Minister of Finance? Or is he a Minister of Finance because he can not steal the money? You understand?
Yes, yeah.
He might be a Minister of Finance because he's not a thief, which is a good virtue. But that doesn't make him a Minister of Finance. And worse still, the economics, I saw him recently on TV and he was saying that he doesn't know crypto money that travels in the air. And he says, I don't know crypto. You can't be a Minister of Finance, you say that. You are ruining your own economy by those kind of statements. You can't say that. You can't go and talk about how ignorant you are about something. Yeah, you are a genuine person, you are saying this, but you can't say that. So, he needs to look for people who know, because the economics they teach in school, in education, is meant to hide the real economics. And I've spoken about this. You know, now, Matia Kasaija, balance of payment deficit. Export more than you import. We export coffee. How does America pay us? Dollars.
Yeah.
Where does it get it from? Prints it. Presses, you know, press printing. Pew, 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 pew. It prints and gives it to us. How much effort have they put in it? Maybe it's, in terms of energy, a few calories. Yeah? But we put a lot of effort in making coffee. Yes. When we want to buy something using our money, what does America tell us? Not hard currency. What is that?